Ashin sa pepepe eno nti yebehwe ensem a edi akotene ewo enwumere no Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ no eso dia na ye de ani kire mu ewo mrahye dia right honorable mrahye fie eye Alban Babe no de nsem atodwa se emre bi atwa mu se de edom kuma no bo modern ekoka se daughter of Medra no odi hwehwe mu ebegu akwem Saso and I'm penny for modern than Simbi Brenoa at to Jayna in Sena or Search Minsana or ye Dom Kumano Rashibajani, Naya, dear Opinino, a different different some nearby in Nano, yet a barber soon. And your nan Rashibaja fear and a DNA a baby chirimu or honomo, a dom Cassiano, opinion domano, a chirimua, or money a dom Kumano, or Munya Pedibiarada, a Musem in another bro. Why I campaigning for so any court as some dibia and 70 a dish of a pepin to no echima or the name of to Tuna Council. Ghana man Benny John Dramani Mahama JDM Eddie Sembia to just over her, a man Puntu Duma about my Kunkuru Ghana. Saso ena ora sami jemfi edensem atu eja efa eye NDC aban no wona memonu sene nyoma esi eko ensem bi kan semi hu na minimini abaya japene de enwure no Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ ne ema o ansa na yebehwe ensem edi mu akotene no mesere wo se nyame ya adoma wo kyena said ya abribia be de fidi kese so aye bo won kaye no ochina no eye asorida ewo apam fie na ncheda enye asorida bia keke nemom eye dwumedi a ya bo hu dawuro da biara da empanimfo am ba fidi kese so yo omo hu dawuro eye healing and miracle service no ebre asom eja enya ba bedru eye nyame ya adoma wo china enti ye nyina ye de ani ebetwere mu ewo apam fie so utuom rescue junction metro baby a wo bia se wo free achichiri ene benche ene badia ene abomodian na timpanimfo ahoma ne said ya beya ubenya baby edi uchi ato me so friend panimfo na je sema see media ewo 0249669993 and now say 0540378282 na one panimfo atwetwe nkomo ye de kase emuchi ami edi ameje so ka kire nua nana ya Sikapa mini aba nana ama Fordjour you better your waba, yaba, Yadicasi in Munchum, ever. So kaya homa ye dani ye hutia wa afi ye mbora ensebno ankasa enche mudia na ye ko akwakopiemo ewo National Economic Dialogue agana mampeni ene finance minister ni mpenimfo etiti ehia ye ewo ho ni nyina ye niam ba akomienu bia wodi etutu eja se na ebeboa ma ye sika ensebno etumi ejina ne naso brandem won asabi wono akwadre ahye eba no eye economy no emu a wodi nsembebre no etu eja eno no echienu Ghana mampeni His Excellency Ora John Dramani Mahama anso bomodin ejina simpie so ensembebre no openino editu eja ye na ye beka ye a openino ekire mu a eyade aban dada no antoto ne oma ye amaye sika sam na tete apansam eyade da obia no a Ghana mampeni so ekebi na no no openino ekire mu se epese economy no tumi fa ne ntima pa no efrade a na wo se ye tete se ne ye bobobo besia ye konkofo nkro so ekwakoje eye sika na afi ye de ba bebo ma ye sika no ejina yankase ye ma ye ninkuni ye ho sane no bebo ma generate sika chichiri die ede ama oman no na afi niema bi enchan fata se ho se ye toto te se ne a obehu so obi wa se ya baba wa na te se bag ne sa niema no we enye ababa wa aniti o kire mu a niema bi wo na se hu ehia se aban no ewo so oya ewo se wo twitwa sa nyoma ni na eso na won ma sika seb no entubi emfa na ntima pa no emfa.
I know that the road to economic recovery will be challenging, but we must not relent in our quest to rebuild the Ghana we all want for the sake of our children and our children's children. We owe it to ourselves, our children, and our country to rebuild an economy that is resilient, that is sustainable and capable of delivering real opportunities for every citizen. My priority as President is to restore macroeconomic stability. We must enforce responsible public financial management and ensure fiscal discipline at all levels of government while working to reduce hardships for our people. Under my leadership, the Bank of Ghana's independence will be safeguarded to implement prudent monetary policies that curb inflation, that stabilize our currency, and rebuilds our foreign reserves. We must never again allow reckless borrowing and excessive government spending to undermine our progress. Fiscal responsibility must become the bedrock of our national development strategy, and every cedi spent must deliver tangible value to the Ghanaian people. We must review our laws. Thank you. We must review our laws to eliminate excessive waste in the procurement of government supplies and projects. Single source procurement must be the rare exception rather than the norm. We must also subject government projects above a certain threshold to value for money audits. And just this morning I was reviewing some of the procurement reports. And there was this procurement for poultry farmers, 10,000 units of something. Anyway.
Abusia yebetwa ensemi so asanso ewo Ghana yemampani JDM John Dramani Mahama eso na yetwa so free opani ni edi sem etu dwa se impuntu odi aya na ye enu nti obehwe na wabomode ama impuntu aba Kumasi ene Central Kumasi Central said ebeya eniema bia ewo ho bia no ebeye kama.
The government's we must also focus on the physical and economic development of our country and our region. This region is the second most populous region in the Republic of Ghana. And its capital, Kumasi, is the second largest city in Ghana. Ashanti has historically been a center of culture, commerce, and industry, and we must ensure that this continues to thrive. And so one key area of focus is that we must improve the infrastructure development in Kumasi and Ashanti. I've assured Otumfo that we'll complete the Sewa Hospital this year. The completion would allow us to decongest Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital so that important rehabilitation works can continue there. I've spoken to the managers of Eurojet, the Invest, who are the contractors, and they have assured me that they will resume work in earnest at their Afari Military Hospital.
Free Ghana Mampany's Excellency Ora John Dramani Mahama Enchena Feyemfa Yeni Enchemu Ewo NPP Netches a new patriotic party. Yena Yenim Sena Wachi dear Wono Edi True State of the Nation address Nankasa Edi Betu Eja. Na Wachremu say Ghana Mampany dear Doko 2 Eja Womrashebeje Fieno. Aye not to cry Nessa Nucrebia Enim Nebe Favor Penino and Unkwa and Okoka Wonsam Ewo Nemono Abainda Dan Wambana Basso and Yemebi Walkra Sankeka ewo mu na no na edom kuma no nipa otena ejum na edom kuma no efua no hom wo kasa ye ene enkane soafo na ohye oman sikasem entotoye eso Dr. Mohammed Amin Adams ena edisansem etu edwa ochire mu se dumso no ade Ghana Mampany ana enkane Mampany na nado danko ekufu ado ono no bo modern pe ohawo no anopomesibre na se eye dumso no aba wo modern se wo de timetable beba mbontene sanse obetie simbont no bekọ na afa ebiwo light ebisu any light na tell say dum so no a na aba no anintie hu behia sempenimfo ede timetable beba bonten akire mu say ebia ende eye kro a ebenya eye light kro b enya na ye hu say sa na ye kọ no na wonja senia wo tutu eye enema ede gutimemufo asom.
The government's handling of the power situation has increased uncertainty about economic growth prospects this year. The promises by the president in his address to the nation to fix the current doomsaw cannot be different from those he made during the 4 years of doomsaw endured by Ghanaians between the end of 2011 and 2016. Not even the creation of a new ministry of power by him could save the nation from the excruciating effects of doomsaw, resulting in the dismissal of then Minister for Power in January 2015. Even in 2016, There were major power interruptions which were blamed on maintenance and what was described as localized faults, a new term for PR stunt intended to cover up Dumso, as the government was avoiding issuing load shedding timetable despite public demands for it because the general elections were close. Yet, the Ghanaian people knew Dumso had not ended because they lived with it and continued to suffer from it. Mr. President, you did not fix Dumso as you claimed in your address. Your record on Dumso is abysmal, unlike your predecessor, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who kept the lights on. As we are back to Dumso in another Mahama term, Ghanaians remember with fear and anxiety the potential devastation this could cause for them and their businesses, especially small businesses like hair salons, welders, dressmakers, and many more who earn their daily bread from these vocations. Many people and businesses have already felt the pinch and the pain of living with the current Dumso. We have also seen the return of electric generating sets in shops, in clinics, and at social events. Mr. President, this is the true state of our nation and not what you presented to Parliament. To ameliorate the impact of these erratic power challenges, we, the mighty minority, call on the government to publish a load shedding timetable today to help people and businesses plan effectively to offset some of the losses the economy is currently suffering from.
Abusia wasansem nemu ena Dr. Ami edi semfufro etudwa ochirema sisi ade Ghana mampeni eye terminator 1 isanse insema wode betudwa ewo wabra or addressing nation enya no kre na Ghana mampeni na nkasa wonim no wogidie se insema wode tudwa se enkokọ nkete no enya ade se ebetimi aye empuntudwuma ama wo my Ghana openi SSC sudua esa aka se Ghana for ade aye hia ene se yehia enjuma foforo se na ebe ya bema mmebunu no wantena fie na obenya adwuma aye.
Notorious fact that to create vacancies for the purpose of employing NDC youth, the Mahama administration has sacked thousands of young Ghanaians who had been properly employed by the previous administration. The termination of the jobs of young Ghanaians, which has become synonymous with Mr. President Mahama, who we now prefer to call Terminator 1, is a sign of what is yet to come. Sacking people from employment and replacing them later with others does not amount to job creation. What the people of Ghana want are new jobs for those yet to be employed. President Mahama knows that the programs he outlined in his statement, Nkoko, Nkitinkiti, and the rest, cannot create sustainable jobs for the Ghanaian youth. Hence, the resort to termination of existing jobs for future replacement to shore up his job numbers. This is after President Mahama had argued, sadly, in 2016, that it was legitimate for an outgoing administration to recruit and sign deals up until the midnight of January 7 the following year, when its term expires. Not only are these double standards worrying, but the dismissals will no doubt worsen the unemployment situation which he promised to fix. The thousands who have been dismissed have been condemned to suffering and hardship. The fight against Galamsey has been difficult, no doubt. The President Mills struggled with it. President Mahama struggled with it in his first term. And despite the best of efforts, President Akufo-Addo also struggled with it.
Enkane oman fotosan for Dr. Mohammed Amin Adams and Nsroma Oditu ejana fe yeni enchemu ewo mrashebedwa efiedia na echrete voter diaspora caucus wono etinto so kokko ede kire eye mrashebedwa mpanimfo titru ene chiamehene wo ho right honorable Apam Sumana Kingsford Bagbu yeni na yebekaya ye chamfoni kakra ede akyeremu se yebekaya wabra Ghana mampani efra se oyi aswafo ede won atotototo eye dibre awodo wo manga na emuno eya dia na ye totototo nkofo bebrenu anom titru ene orasam na te George ena afi no orasam okudeto ablakwa na sankofo mienu no mente mi wansuku bi ekosiye na no na edom kuma no eni ho eni nti no ora Alexander afenyo mark no no ye edom kum kirebu se wompene edom kuma ne se wompene edom kase ne se wo bepene eno na obi ekokasa ya na mrahwebedwani bi ekokasa se a daughter of a major na say o papa ekum nkrofo eba ne saa no mpanimfo eboto ye papa ye ema eye from mantemu no ahempon a wo ho no wono tro petition tetenten adekoma chiamehini o mrahwebedwa fie sanka opani no ebe yi eye nipa okana saa asem no ewo mrahwebedwa efie eni ntina ahempon ma eye chiamehini na woche ba ko na chese 1 week na nso besinde nya de wono edi nipa sabi okana saa nyamra asem kasa no wonyi no empie eno ana embebu meche kwoli krote abaton peso no eso no eye maame eye zinato ene ye mrahwebedwani wo sam peso no esunte embebu no so bwanjo so wanso wo ba bonten be kan ye wo bese wo kan e de kire ye chame ne se nipa okan sa asem no wonyi sa nipa no empie no ma embra enunu endi eno no ana no so kodaye eno no akire no ena eye voter diaspora caucus wanso wo titi imbonten so endro ada woti achia ana woti nto so kokko e de kire eye speaker ene wo mrahwebedwa fie na no na mpenifuo de ato wonanimu se wasrasa chamehini owo ho no ebeyi nipa no edi epie na fo wodi nipa no ejina embra no enim sene ebebo ama mbra no eni no edi na nipa okasa ye no eye general secretary eye Lydia Angel ene de sansemu etu eja petition no wode koma eye mrahwebedwa for titu ene right honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Babin say onyi nipa no empie na woma embra eni sa nipa no endi
Nihita ba angaduko malo. Naman mawano tapawin.
Okay, so
Our democracy is very what means around your people in the sense of responsibility, sense of duty, diligence, and
Every Sunday, so near any interim mrahwebedwa fie, Right Honorable Alban Babin Asuye, Wabra nsemi esi a obi bo modia edom kumani munipa ni bi e bo modia ekokofre Zenato Ajamari Rollins say wonfa ne tontenase na sabi ne papa eye nipa kumni wabra sansem na si ye no emese mpanimfo sore ye nipa dodo na akrole kotefo sore ye ama anwonomamumfo so esore ye na emese nhwehwemu no honorable edi ensembi ababe tudwa openini nsema waka nyina enese metwe right honorable emma mrahwebedwani mrahwebedwa fie edi ensembi atudwa se wosre se odi nhwehwemu wahyebo odi nhwehwemu ebegu akwan mu ama yehu oni ya akora oka sansem ni nyina na sebi ensema oka ye no enya sempa na asem ne de entwa yie
In the course of the parliamentary proceedings on 4th February this year, an honorable member of this House was subjected to an unwarranted, unjustified, and deeply offensive, reckless remark, or being referred to as, for want of a better way to convey the remark, quote, the daughter of a murderer. I apologize for having to even repeat it. The unsavory remark was uttered off microphone from a seat of the minority side of the House in reference to the honorable member. Media footage available indicates that during this attempt to speak, the unsavory remark was uttered off microphone from a seat of the minority side of the House in reference to the honorable member. Such conduct is dishonorable, and I strongly condemn it as a behavior unbefitting of a member of parliament. Such a member, when found guilty of defamation or in contempt of parliament or in breach of parliamentary privilege, would be liable to be reprimanded or by resolution suspended from the service of parliament for a period not exceeding 9 months, or expelled from parliament altogether. Let me be clear. Parliament is a place for constructive debate altogether. Let me be clear. Parliament is a place for constructive debate, guided by principles of mutual respect and integrity.
That's what ejinemu ewo ensema right honorable editu eja ewo mrashebeja efi ni nano eye mrashebeja ni edema kwalikrute abato mpeso no eso Dr. Zanato Ajiman Rollins ensense bia obi ekwo kansa ni papa sebi okunkum enkrofui na eno na eye chamehene ede chelpa akọ ede ama Dr. Zanato na afi eye Rollins ebusuafo nyina nse sebi peni entine fie mankoda enwe nanka na emom nse otenefie na se omo ewe nanka dia na nanka yofo ne ye kenkan ne yebubu a ye beka pani no ede aka ho na emom ontena ho masa ensem no emba mbeto no eninti no opani no de achewpa akọ ede ama ebusuafo a okiremu se se na menua ne kan ye no enhyehyemu mapa wo beyi nipa ne pie na enhyehyemu ne nneema wodo bi wo de beteto akwan so no wo de egu akwan so na aten chia enkopie mu ewo sa ensem no emu.
Who are here, I believe, to urge us on to be seen to be acting on the issue. This matter has to deal with the unsavory comments that were made on the floor a few weeks ago. And so I'm going to make a formal statement on it. Honorable members, it is with a deep sense of responsibility that I address you today on a matter that strikes at the very heart of our democracy: the need for civility, decency, respect, and decorum in our national discourse, particularly on the floor of Parliament. The people of Ghana look to this House as the bedrock and beacon of democracy and leadership in Ghana. It is our collective duty to set a standard that reflects the true character and values of our great nation. We know from the holy books the immense power of the word. We therefore need no reminders of the power of the spoken word. Words can inspire hope, foster national unity, and strengthen collective resolve. Yet, they can also divide wound and erode the very foundations of trust, national unity, love, hope, and the dignity we seek to uphold in this House. It is therefore regrettable that in the course of the parliamentary proceedings on 4th February this year, an honorable member of this House was subjected to an unwarranted, unjustified, and deeply offensive, reckless remark, or being referred to as, for want of a better way to convey the remark, quote, the daughter of a murderer. I apologize for having to even repeat it.
Guswa jinemu ewo mrashe bedefie wasansem ye mu asemi die asefem mpanifo emfa enema imu akwan mu ye nchi woni yakro sansem ye mu na edom kese ne opani a wodoma no eye mama ayarga enso ejina simpie so opani ni kire mu asansem ne die omu bobo moden a ede hwehwemu agu akwan mu na woni yakro a oka ase anyamra sem no entwa ye ne momom hu oni yakro na efri edom kumani mu a wo semra ani sa woni ya no edini ye pa.
So, Speaker, we are indeed very grateful to you. And, Mr. Speaker, I will join you to urge colleagues to be decorous in the way that we conduct ourselves in the chamber. I believe that the investigation that you have launched will definitely unravel the individual who engaged in such a reckless comment. And I also urge whoever it is to own up as directed by the Speaker. And I want to assure this House that when we ultimately establish the identity of that person, the full weight of this side of the House will stand firmly behind the Privileges Committee when they seek to exact the highest penalty of this House.
So ewo mrashebeja efie dia na ye kasa edi afanyema hodo bebrenua ehu ana proceedings bi ekoso ewo mrashebeja fie chamehene kasa na afa di opani ya pusu ne ho papa wa pusu ne ho ama nsama hodo bi esafata say ode ekọ edema mrashebedafo no ode akọ ede amawo empenifo ni bi mechama mrashebedafo no eto de bia opani no ekiremu a wono kasa wo nkokoso beka sania sebi won anaye mpenifo ewo ho na enu no opani no ekiremu say obi akasa ye na kasa na nipa ne kasa ye no amfa kwemu kra na enu no I need to weigh your right honorable Apam Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ and someone or the two eja or chiremu say come here say mrashebedafo na wo mrashebedefie no one ne tintin ya paint na office obetumi aka won kokko asem e de akire ono na chiremu say so ye nhihyenim bias ne sign niema no a nkanya ade anka 4th Republic nke besan so afa no we kundwemu so nsanso tena mrashebedefie ho na senia opani bi ko kan nsem bia na ensem fata wo mmarahyɛbadwa fie no ɛna ɔkyerɛ mu sɛ saa mmarahyɛbadwa ni asɛbi ɔkɔdi ɛyɛ ɔka kasa bi a ɛnsɛm fata no ɔbɛn ne paa onimi no nti ɛyɛ no wɔn paa sɛ ɔkasa nsɛm no na mmom no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔka kyerɛ wɔn no sɛ ɛnyɛ wɔn ntenti sɛ wɔn ne ntenti ɛyɛ pɛde a na ɛno no nkyerɛ sɛ wɔn bɛtumi aka wɔn kokoso asɛm ɛde akyerɛ opanin no.
Yes, some of you just are a few days old in Parliament. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at you. Repeat what you said. Please. If I were such a biased person, I couldn't have wanted to be a speaker in opposition. Please. I'm begging before you came into this house. Your minority leader spoke. I've given him enough time to speak, and he's still speaking. He knows how close he is to me. And he knows that I will not ignore the issue I took upon myself. And he has mentioned that I have invited the lady concerned. It's not that I will not invite him. It's a process. And he knows what has intervened up to now. If not by this, I would have finished doing that. So please, don't think we are all the same. We are not. That's why I'm here, and that's why you are seated there.
Abusian yeguso wa mmarahyɛbadwa fie wa bra dom kɛseɛ no opani a wɔda wɔ ma no mahama yarega ɔde nsɛm bi atu dwa sɛ yɛnkase yɛni tua sɛ debate deɛ ɛkɔ a ɛfa nipa bebree na asɛm a opani ne yɛka yɛ nyinaa ɛne sɛ ɛdɔm kas kuma no ɔmo entumi ɛne ɔmo numbers no entumi ɛnyɛ pɛ na debate no na yɛ 4 days mom deɛ nanso 10 4 times 10 no ɛyɛ 40 deɛ a na kyerɛ sɛ wɔmo ɛne ɔmo ɛnyɛ pɛ da biara da.
Business committee met, and our own standing order says one of the responsibilities of the business committee is to allot time for debate. And we agreed that we were going to debate for 4 days. 4 days. And for each of the days, there will be 10 contributors. So if you multiply 4 by 10, that will be 40. This side of the House, represented at the committee meeting by 4 members, proposed that we should share the time equally. They will take 20, and this side will take 20. So each day, 5 people on this side and 5 people on our side. And our side said no. We cannot allot the time equally because we are not equal. We are not equal. The business committee met, and our own standing order says one of the responsibilities of the business committee is to allot time for debate. And we agreed that we were going to debate for 4 days. 4 days. And for each of the days, there will be 10 contributors. So if you multiply 4 by 10, that will be 40. This side of the House, represented at the committee meeting by
Mahama Yarega and some of the 2 age or Mashibeje fee near whom Kasia and some Ratiawa.
By a prophet, the Lord delivers Israel from Egypt, and by a prophet, he preserved them. Hosea 12:13. Apam Global Church Etunsa Ediafro Abanansa Jumedia a healing and miracle service. Shall on the sea, they was the 8th of March 2025. Yimu. Eti posema eda Jumedia says, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Genesis 32:26. Yejumedia Cassia Esinina so a yankasa ye papa the global missionary evangelist papani Ajeman mission coach 1 Kaise Jumedia Cassia e koso ewa Apam fie so tium rescue point junction anopebia wabra abot nunsia enefa pepepe enyi wo emfiri mesanse nyame nam na koa ene na di for so ebe kasa ato abra boso a ensencheni ene adansi a wundi bida ene beba wabra bom hyene so ema mi ebio se nyame ya adoma on the 8th of March, I remember ye did media nina eba na wie no. Communion Kaseɛbɔ ebe koso esanse nyame enam ni moja ohwiegu ewo Calvary ne so no ebe sili yen ayaresa na afensu ya dance die edimu. Afei so hyɛne so ema mi bio so opese u register anase ope akwankyerɛ anase bia ye di dwumadie ni nkyerɛkyerɛmu bia obetumi afre 0249 669993 anase 0540 378282. Apam, we serve a living God.
So okay homa ye je eye nkrato ye transabino esude na mahwebe fie ho a ena ye da so ejina sania edom kase de 2 eju ase wonte nyoma asedom sa so na edom kuma no so de nsem epie e de afasa debate eye en9 and the 4 en9 wode eye no na no na edom kuma no e kire mu se edom kase no edosu akasamafo no dosu ye papa na sania ye bibi de na se o se ma bibi mu da wo fine na che se equal obi say bia nipa 20 eye edom kuma nye 20 ne edom kase ne so nye 20 se ne beboa ma atanchie bia nkonkopa ewo mu na eba ne saa de ne se mo konfuma edom kase ne kodoso ne edom kuma no koye kuma na afi ugbo se debate na se edom kase ne na kasa ne nche yi ewo eni nti ora Alexander Afenyo Maken eno oye edom kuma no anobo ani de ni odin 72 ejase
equal opportunity. Equal opportunity. Equal opportunity. Mr. Speaker, is guaranteed. Mr. Speaker, we will not. Mr. Speaker, we will not. I repeat. We will not allow the majority to use its numbers
to intimidate us. Mr. Speaker, they should know that they are not going to be in this majority forever. Today, the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, is in this house, and his side is proposing this. Hey, Haruna. Hey, Haruna. Hey, Haruna. And Mr. Speaker, Honorable Mahama Yariga, who was the de facto legal advisor to the Atu-Forcing leadership, is today saying that if he gets 3, we should get 1. It won't happen today, it won't happen tomorrow.
Abusia ya toa nsem no so dia na ye toa so yegusu agene mu ewo mrahye bedwafie Honorable Isaac Adongo odi nsem bi etodwa openini nsema wo kanyina ene se wono de etwetwe na so na esaso ye ne enhyeda nya bibi huhu bia esanse na nka wono de onimu ne se for about 8 years we live in a country 8 years nie ye kase abaya ababesi atwam no kono wo mo enkyira yen omo enkyira yen say hospitals are near akwakofa uncompleted buildings ediaba na abaya ababesi atwam amakoni nyina no chese omo nhyeda NC build complete building na buildings o masisi nyina eye baako afa so opani no esa kire mu eka say bawumia baako na chese ghost names bebrebe yede ani ebe kire mu ebre bia etwa mu no na Ghana mampani ekire mu a ghost names bebre aba entimpanifo nya nhwehwemu no eno ena opani ni kire mu say bawumia baako na chese ghost names bebre.
Mr. Speaker, it is only under this government that when Baomia digitalizes in Samanfo, Ejikronufa, you digitalize to erase, to bring forth ghosts at national service. That is what your digitalization is about. Mr. Speaker, Baomia Bako in Samanfo Bebre. Mr. Speaker, we live in a country where after 8 years, some people cannot show us a completed, functioning hospital. All they have are uncompleted projects and at various stages of completion. We have been hearing various stages of completions till 2017. When are you going to complete them? Of course, Baomia Bako, uncompleted projects, baby. But Mr. Speaker, when you leave an economy that is struggling to pay its debts, you want us to invite you to a banquet? An economy where your debt strategy was to borrow recklessly, default in payment, and declare bankruptcy. Do you want the president to come smiling when he's delivering this gloomy picture that you have given him? If that amounts to lamentation, then so be it. Reckless to the point of finding it difficult to understand. And when you decide to put a stop to their recklessness, they call you a terminator. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately for them, the man who inherited their mess is a ruthless terminator. Mr. Speaker, John Mahama is a terminator of ghosts at NSA. I remember you were the information minister when you were trying to educate me on what is called Samurai bond, Panda bond, Century bond. Mr. Speaker, this
Enkanem Shebejani Edema Swame Abaton Peswano Eswano no Asanso Eye Parliamentary Affairs Minister Osanso Ekoye Enkane Eye Edom Kumano Anobani Deni Ononi Yi ni fidi wa Yakofa Ora Alexander Kwame na Afenyo Maken Edebeshe na 9 na Enkane Mampeni Ora na Nado Danko Ekufuado ena Epawo Penino na Ensembe Brenwano Penino Eye MPP 4 sabi wodi ncho ewo abatodo emono Openino kopie mu wo radio station bi odi akwa to edwa o kire mu say o ye so nkasa ho nanso sani aba ne de na che say aban no nya akwa kogunti no o se sabi o tune no mutu e kasa e de fasa ensebdo ehun na presenter na simu wo bisa ora o say chemensa bonsu ene say sabi yi no e de ne free sa de bre ho no bibie no otumi kan ya ana bibie no otumi ye ya na openi na no ye ene say ensem bebre no na ebobo ba ye titiri wo mfimfin manta mu ho ene openi no e kire mu say na Ghana mampeni na nkane mampeni na na dodanko ekufu ado ene MPP aban ne sabi na wona kwa adwinkro mu dada se wo pese wo hwan na se ekunya eni ntino MPs ni bi ono angasa na danfofo mu ahyebeja fora no wo MPP eya amanyokuo no mu no ebi mu beyi na sutire eni ntino ono wada no ho so dada all chense sa akonya no ba beda na nim se wo yi dedi na no na wo kire mu se wo konkunyesie na wo kasa ye ewieye no mpenifo toma no so wo bribi kana wankasa ama ne kasa so onye tenten ne otu na no mutuo kan ya ne se ono a na sabi mpenifo pawo no ema ne beye dom kuma na no ba ne deni na nso mprempre sabi o ma ne nsa so na de obetumi atia so biom eni ntine ba ne sa no na wo so free emu na bribia no etumi ekonkan.
I'm quoting myself. I'm resigning. And them why and those of them no more MPs no fault disappointed them and so on. And so when they heard, they all said the same thing. But and not the meeting I can say. They were kind and say, "Some na and this for now." President Mahama na no yin so beda
yes.
Na onyi ni running mate. But sen na AC Coronia ni so be fa Vice President ene Professor
Jena
Najmai.
Yes.
Intino President Frey na sem na say ne pono no. So Central Region I say ya ho den kofom. E wo ho. Na in visibility e wo ho. The minority leaders were taking over from Haruna.
Yes.
And they were expecting to have the vice presidential candidate from the same region.
Sure.
And Waka said, we need to have some visibility there. From Central Region. That was Assembly. So, Yemra Muse say no kura. Yestani or say no. The minority leader or the majority leader is the person chosen by the party people in parliament. And the party outside. And now, Okasa Wakipia. I could find some. Yes, no, I mean, what you say? We say, I know the Mr. Omin Pessemekan wasn't my crew in German.
Abusia wasanse mu ena yeguswa yejina wabra openi osei edi ensembi etudwa ewo Asempa FM na openi ana otototo na no asema obisa ne eni say ofri honom no na onye basa na openi na asema wo kan ye nyina ne say na mom na ye na esefata se wo free honom esan se nko wan free ho a enkade menteme ho ase ne ade ade bi ebeba erunti wono de ofri honom no eye esan se wabra wo mo ere no mo re fumfram na wono de wo free honom no wo mo on kahwe nemom de ade ne dana de wan fanto a efrito na ebekwa ewodo a ebeba.
Oh, especially say na AC kono say man hwe ya and am sokrama confusion about
party name yeah.
Fancy the situation. Senka man step aside. Ena enne ye di nkugu yi na nkugu no so enye light nkugu na se nya mekoka na baby am say yes we be cry ko tumi yes station bi ko tumi be say oh ye nkugu no we de na ye finfram pa ma yes citromi no mani ha ne na we say we de yes e chance citromi ensa enti ahu say me fa na say nka twuma me ntwimi bai na nkugu ya be ya Chemenza bonsu refuse to resign na nkrofo di mechi na hey nka nkugu e baya nka okra nka me kra e be site me se me ka ho bi party ndi nkugu ene na me nka ho what you say the share situation and am se me ntwe me ho nti as to whether it made sense or not no let me leave it to posterity.
free ora osai chemensa ensema oditu eja na fe nda ne ni ekopie mu ewo acting manager director edema Precious Minerals Marketing Company ye charity afa on PMMC penin kwanchefo ani ora Samnati George Sami Jemfi mfancheme openino edensem atu eja na nensem ode atu eja ene se de bia ne da ewonia esi NDC aban ede wonde akwakogu na MPP de wode akwakogu na NDC won ede na aba na no openino echem se Ghana mampeni oba no ana wo bo ano obo ntoa no ode nsembe benua etu eja se obeye mampeni a ade asoafo no obetete so oba ya impenifo sori ni ino eye opepom bosom ne de to so enson no eno sase so de dwumedia wodo bebenua egugugu na kwanso asoya wodo no tete so ena afi asoafo no so sene oka ye eduesia no waye ni na yopo na no na ora Sami Jemfi ekoko pie mu ewo eye asempa ode nsem bi etu eja o kire mu se Ghana mampeni die na memo we die de twem eye ade anyoma bebrenu abeboa mo man sika nsem no atoto yie we yi asoafo awodo bebre na asoya soye no we yi bi ade efiri ho ena wakekeke bi mu dia bom esanse se ebia ye asoye communication ebisuba be information ni nyina no be say ade comment na wo ye eni nti no be ni so be yi ba ko de firi ho na wa ma ba kwan ye ejuma esanse wanya ne sa sika wo be chia de ama information for dom eno na wo be chia de ama communications for eni nti ne sika titiri dia na sabe e be ko aso for so se ne watetetete so no anya afi na nka wo kwa akoto ehyen de ama oni bode den na se ne ni na kwa akoye no eya de a eye echire no Ghana mampeni bema aban na oman Ghana sike bi ye hihye no yensa etumi aka
maybe akufu ado ka kire se we ministers 126 won't be mobile ene mahama odini pa 60 na ebu man hwa mamu papa akufu ado o ma post ma ono ane ba post ma ne ba ma mi post ma ne wofa ase anu post ne wofa ma ne nana ma wo mu nyina post presidency go go back and yanko down memory lane na let's not forget to John Mama one check me appointment by presidency crowd on starting appointment presidential staffers at John Mama appointment many just be do even 20 John Mama system ministers minister bi onim ne hoka minister say Mahama okate one minister unim sika was save we afibia was save we more than 100 billion OCDs 100 billion OCDs so see 10 million matter so na minister bia ye beto land cruiser ye say check it ye be say so man saloon car check it ye be man the driver na juma ye for wo fia ye tua ne car na juma ye for wo office petrol ye the money free na ketua anko beje na allowances ni pay DM ni nyina Mahama atwa gu we twa be 60 something na gu onim sika wo de save wo man no onim enunti enkura ebenya esupanom suku papa mu atra onim buntu a ye betumi di sika we aye fa no to nchen akufo ado abra so 2022 ye ko 6 match Cape Coast ye sesa nkura ko gina wie match pass enkura yogurt okura akufo ado ama wo mu bi ye wie akufo ado bo kasan a o say 104 billion OCDs 1 day per 6 match and then Mahama about say Ghana ye wa ho chiremu let me lead by example ye to aba ma me anchese me medio man sika e yo som na me besom yen sebi de me ne me re ne me ma bedidi onya me ache me bi enti 6 match me ma ye mmokro no ewie mu match ne sika se yen na me jai ye be he ne kakra bi obi enya na obeye ye nyusu akufu ado sika na no se no 110 fumpo ye be ye 6 match kuku kuani ye kotonu koku amansan dwaso akufu ado se mache mu ha fa na me fa ene Mahama mano 70% this season ya ye be ya na so time and so masa yeti komu ha ye wa laji mu a wo ye vice president ninuanom all bet na konwa so na ninuanom nkramofo okomeka eye very important won nkramosu mu a o matua haja na ye be 11,000 cedis alaji
abusia ye free openi Jemfi eso na yemfa yeni entremu ewo openi okujo to ablokwa wabra odi ensembi etudwa yenyina yeni tuase Ghana mampeni edi ensembi atudwa wabra odi asokobo former wosi village said ebeya Hajad village Hajj village said ebeya bibia ebe koso kama no openi nsem tudwa se passport ebebua ama said ukọ Hajj na ebeye easy ama o mechire ayese meka kono ebeye easy ede ama wo no obomodi ande wani twemu ewo passport office aso ya ayere soa na nafua miensa inti yemfa ne se ene Thursday ene Wednesday no akwakoya ochina ne na ochina Thursday na de chie fiada na wako akwakoje wo passport na watimi akọ omeka akwakoye de wo kwakoye nyina enya afiansa wo ko na ye komisi komistai komilogoli obehwe amani nyina atu atwa enti wababomode ahwe se enhwehwemu bego akwamu na bibia deda na akwamu sane obi ba omedi traffic mu mechire line mu ne ya ukọ wachina no aba enne no aba da bi omode niam egu akwamu ama ukọ omeka ni bia 3 days pepepe na waba aba beji o passport sane ebe ya obetimi ede akwakoye de awuye nyina.
Of what we are doing here as we make history is that we have set a target. When you apply for your passport here at the Hajj village, within a maximum of 3 working days, 3 days, you will receive your passport. So, maximum 3 days. Maximum. It can be 1 day, it can be 2 days, but it will not exceed 3 days. That's the maximum. So, today, Tuesday, those who will be going through the process as they are vetted and they capture your biometrics, your facials, latest by Friday morning, your passport will be delivered to you. This week. No.
Ora Samuel okudeto ablakwa ensema oditu eja na afeyemfa yeni entremu ewo West African Examination Council wayek wono asweye yenna yenim se ye share afi asase no meche 2025 no ensem bebrenu na awofuo no editu eja se womba wono kwotro 2024 West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination wasino eyade a wayek impedifo atna results ahodo bebrenu eso na bibia no etumi akonkan ede ama won mpenimfo bo modern de nsemi kokodan asem dibia ema court etna nsem no eso na no na court ko eye asetna no wono ahye West African Examinations Council mpenimfo se enkodan no results na wotna so no won ja won ademu emfema won eninti no woto wayek 42 eja se 28 February ana wodeni ma beto tototo na kwanso na wodi bibiegu akwemu ama enkoda no ensaka won resource eninti ukwa befo ntentan fidie no eswa ubenya enkoda ni bi credit to eja say wonu sukuufuo ni bi akosuku mu wode embaye na no na waye ke be kire mu say sabi enkoda no ko eyese wo kwakwocho West Africa Examination no a wono de apo e de ko ebi mu de hye socks ebi mu de hye pencil mu ebi mu so de hye pen mu tese akade bebre wo wode de faso na wode chi apo ewo eye examination ho na no na penifo kire say enu titiru papa titiru no so wo maake wo hu ni say eni b e de ebu ebra na tese nkofo miensa de ekokoye pede a na wo kopeye enu nti na eye waye kimpenifo kire mu say wotna sa results no eso na impenifo hihye mu no once more there to ejane say results be 1000 ena wono etna so na nso prempren eyade wodo eja bibie mu ede ama empenifo eninti no West African Examinations Council empenifo say wono etie ensem a empenifo ede tu eja no nti no eyade wono eja bibie mu ama no aka
So wo jai bibia mu ama na kadia na yede ni mu ewo Civil and Local Government Staff Association aye twanitia efreno glosak ana omode strike chencherenche pa egu akwan mu wo mu mu a wo mu kwan omo fa so omo ko strike ni de enhyeda enkoyie na emom omo wo botaye panti omo ko strike omo niama omo de egu akwan mu a ama omo de omo niam omo fidi omo de ye adwuma nyina egu fam no ni titiriu ene say executive chairman na order wo ano abomoden akwakoyi sika twitwire die te say 50 million na wonim botaye potinti a okona okokoyi sika no na wadwen ho saa no wanya nchechiremu bia besi samre ye omo no empanifo kasa no wo besi samre nchechiremu emfree oni ya akro no ho emaaye na ne etoso mienu enso so ene say wo mu nim ne enti a Wamu aban no etetete wamu abosomi akatua no eso eno ne niama bebre mienu miense bi eka sansemi ho a wamu de wamu niama nyina egu fam se wamu ebeko strike.
Since 24th February 2025 ba akoy say strike no mo declare no endimu na young aggrieved closer members ya fair press conference ya pese ya di two o mamfo anim say nioma bebre wo ho a ha closer union no na strike no mo declare no de enka nioma na ha ye no ho because press conference ya hold ya di nioma bebre ya tudwa say nka ye mpanyimfo no ya sem fa omo ho pa nka nka sa nioma no na wo sanka wo mo hwe na omo ka ho asem maye Bakuni enhanced salary structure. Yadibema civil servants, any local government service staff. But let me say no and ya womunti strike no na eja womupa inti ye fani say ye be press conference na che say ye di insensem no bia tudwa na se nyama kanu bakuni enhanced salary structure. And bakun so ni sika Executive Secretary, ako year free closer account me I 500,000 Ghana cedis. One fa kwan papa so amfa yi saska no. Ba kono no. Ena omusa didati every man bia omu didati staff local government service any civil service staff bia tier 3. Na tier 3 no me say voluntary. And dia upa na oye, upenso awunye. But
PMO ewo NIB empenimfo akache na won yefe won National Investigation Bureau na empenimfo kabia yese bosumi ababesen ekoidie wono apusu won ho yie papa ni nyina ense NSS National Service Scheme no ade a wo che mu se ghost names awodo bebre no a na for the ho me kire se ka ghost name na jesa akwakoye se aban injuma wodro no payroll na sika ye chia wo no okọ abelfo na ebi ejumeko bi obekọ nipa 2 ana eye ejuma na nso bekom ni ye chia nipa be 30 won sika na no na wo kire mu sa nkofo ye nchia wo senate ye nchia bibe ye nti won to ne sa anyomani na eni nti NDC aban ba ye won abomodin de nyomegu akwanso yi sa ghost names ni na enka ne anka ebeja wo na nso sisi ade so ye do mu kwa kogina embra no enim na no na wo kire mu say enka ne deputy executive director at the Man National Service Authority ene maami gift or remainsa maame no ene na ye penin kwanchefo na nkanka ne no oda ho eni nti ono so no wakwa for the sa ensem no emu na no na wo kire mu say eye 7th December ye to aba no ena maame ni tia ni nechi free eye omanga na mu kokosi bro ni kromu na somewhere by nkofo bebre no na ebo maame no so bobo ni din na ye nyina ye nim say National Investigation Bureau mpenimfo woni din kan to nsa dia fro rack no foriata wono fefe nkofo awudo bebre no a se wombra no wombegina da kem na fe anototo ye bia no wontumi entoto wono ano etu de bi kra na yakwa nyane ebi mko wo fie na ye de wo mo aba na no na oye Alexander afenyoma keno no no ye dom kuma na no ba ni de ni wakasa ede kokobo akọ ede ama National Investigation Bureau mpenimfo se ni omo ye no sabi eni enyan ano ohye esi de no wotumi de mbra ni hye wonsem kete na wodo wonsa keke kankrofo na emom no ma me gift your worry mensa de onjane eye dan a obeba obepiem e wo manga na mu na emom osre won papa se na mo wonfo wonsa enkeka maame no ampa wotie opani no ensem oditu eja eni ntia ya de maame no aba bepiem e wo manga na emu odu kotoka international airport ne de na chese wunwu se NIB mpenimfo e wo ho.
I think that and there should be no such Rambo style approach to arrests and all. I'm aware that Gifty arrived this afternoon. I've been in touch with her. She's here in Ghana. She arrived this afternoon. Okay. Her lawyers are in touch with the National Investigation Bureau, and I'm sure that she's going to make herself available, and then whatever the state investigation authorities have, they would have to pursue within due process of law. My view is that MPP is not against accountability, me inclusive. We've been in public service, we are out of office. Obviously, if the new government needs former officials to explain certain matters in one way or the other, it's within their right to pursue such. And if it means investigating, there should be no problem. What is important is to follow that due process. Right. And once due process is being followed, why not? I mean, after all, once you get into public office, you must all be mindful. The person was not running out, she was on holiday. You know, this era of social media, and even some people were saying that there is some whatever. I don't want to get it wrong. Right. You know, this thing where they put travel embargo on her. There were all manner of rumors, but she came. All right. She came when she boarded. She told me. She came. She got to the airport. She went through the immigration processes, and then she's home now. Nobody harassed her, in all fairness. And that's what I'm saying, that sometimes the social media thing, people say all manner of things. But as far as I'm concerned, she hasn't been harassed by any state authority.
I think every Ora Opani Afenyoma Kendas, word you know, pay. Yeah, free the Sonia Diani Atremu, I was school feeding program, and penny for any Mabawa and Mebunu, ne Yama minimum muye diane, edema, and mofra, omo echo abain esuku yi, ena ebrea sosi etuo wo muka, omu chiremu a, omu sika no ema akakem. Abain dada na ebesen koye no wochira wonfa omusika emma wo mo na yema mi chiremu a 30 days na ebesi ne omumfa sika no emma wo mo na se omubetua omukra ka no kra pe akwada bia ehweso na yedi etua wo muka enti wo mo de omu se omamfa se Ghana fo na empanifo antua omuka wo mo de omubebodua omubobodua esan se wo mo nsoso sa sika no na omudi ehwe fie na omuba stresse se sika no sa aban ababa hyen akono de omusika de amomo a omomomodea na omumfa sika no emma wo mo se ne be ya periperio ebeba
sa wo ma fa sika na amaye dia na sa bosomi aso na sa watimi ji sika sa bosomi aso wa ye adwuma ne atua ne ka ye bebo omudua ye bebo ni dua 32 days 32 days no sika na bro ayi obia sika e wo mu 32 days eye nkwala na dodo ene ye de check 32 days no wo nkwala dodo ena wo de check wo sika wo be dey wo benya fi so obia wo ne nkwala wo fidi no enye nipa ba ko na fidi akwala ba ko obia wo ne suku ne enrollment ne dodo enti ye besre wo mo se wo mo gitum se wo mo aye adwuma wo mo te air condition mu ene wo mo de mframa fa wo mo na ye nya nkwa gina eja so na won tua ye kade a wo gibo so mi akatua enti bi ma ne yire edi bi hwa ne ma ye be boni dua me de masama no no wo ballo papa ne ade enti saban na okọ no edi esika no amamu a ye ji esika
school caterers last 2 months ye to anamoba controller ha say here esika ya ba papa ne hye one first kana amaye ya ba we kan wa ya ba 3 times ye nsan kan esika nti yesre no esre do mama se pana chaw yesi esika na yura be pie ni ho ohu ye mobo no ndwe ye ho no ntwe esika enfem ma ye
dodo kunja yenta so enche na asabe anoma eche wojia so a oje ebo editi hada be me kwame ni anu mienu ye jin kunja na yesin kunja ebe kinkan no nsia kase e won Nsroma Kaseɛ so e wo Sayo Steve ye dini nyina no e sinete se don shode ba ko ene echire kakra ene ye kinkan kase no ede e mawo na ansa na ebeko ni die ma ye nhye ne di kase no mu akotene
ye de ani kyerɛ mu e wo glosak for aso ye wo mu kyerɛ mu a wo mu de amakode nyina agufam afa tintontan adwuma no wo makɔ strike
Saso ena eye voter diaspora caucus once voting to show koko efri ayete santene de kopie mu omrahyebeje fie ni na na say what the petition at the comma eye right honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford backben
ani de ani twemu so e passport office dia na openi okujoto ablokwa e de ensembi atudwa say sisia no passport wo beje de akomeka eye 3 days na wonsa aka wo de
enka ne mrahyebeje ni e de maso ame abato mpeso no eso eni ora oseche means abonsu openi no akyere ne ntia ode ne kunwa eto ho e de ma eye ora Alexander Afenyomake ye ko mrahyebeje fie so na right honorable Alban Babin e de ensembi abetudwa openi ne ensema wo kan ye nyina eni se ode nhwehwemu e begu akwam ama woni yakura wo ka se daughter of Medrano omubehu woni yakura wo kan san nyamra nsem we ni sama hodo ne de besomo ye kase do eso natural say Apam Global Church asafuru ne so ye muma ye mu ye drum ye kinkan kase no e de ema wo eni ti bebi bia wo bia no yampa echena ya wado boade e de cheye ndia na dwumedia ya bo hu de roa no dwumedia do edru so ejebo eja onya aba bedru eni ti sit match yampa echen ya fo fida e de mo man Ghana na 7th 8th communion service no sutia life eni ti bebi bia wo bia no na wo de aka dwumedia wo ti do ehu wo fie chichi ne benche na wo ba benya bebi ada eni ti se media homa no tu dwape na eni de ma wo fra na wo frɛ na waji bebi a wo bede na bebia no etumi akosom kama edi amount dwumedia no be hyasie wo bra no nsia bo edi apemu eni nti no wacha 7 o'clock na wo fidue mu a wamba ntem asabe wonya bebi ntina no kra na maka akire dro na beje wa eya tere ba ko pe eni ti bomoden waya wadwen se ne ndra da eye nyame bakan no waya wadwen kwan se wo beba dia na sisi edi me no ka se wahyehyɛ onyoma kra di esi wo dada na waba be pie mu e wo fidue mu a so chem rescue point ana so chem rescue junction ana tena kase no ebutu eye 7th 8th ne de ne se onim se no na maka ho sem e de akyew ahoma betumi agye nkyerkyemu asusune media nyina no eye 0540378282 0540378282 ana 0249669993 0249669993 na nimpe 4 achichi enkomo o kan ye ho wa be fonten time kase no